Hello, viewers, and welcome to the latest episode of The Huddle. I'm with Tom Lemke, co-founder and CEO of SavageTech, and today we're going to be talking about an interesting new program and platform.
I'm the co-founder and CEO of SavageTech. I've been a gamer all my life. I mean, I'm 42 years old, right? And I've played a lot of games in my life. I co-founded two of Germany's biggest esports teams, Mousesports and Big Clan. I managed and/or co-founded 4 different esports betting platforms. The last one was Unicorn, which got sold to Entain. And throughout this time and my passion for gaming, I always thought that putting esports on a platform itself should suffice in order to attract this new younger generation of punters. But what I've realized over time is, yeah, sure, it does work to a certain extent, but the industry itself has much bigger problems. As in, we're paying a lot of money to acquire FTDs, first-time depositors, and up to 85% of them churn on the second non-incentivized bonus. And of course, sportsbooks are trying to, give that initial bonus and spread it out over multiple deposits. But at the end of the day, the biggest problem is that the 150 at one operator is just as good as the 150 at another operator, right? So you're choosing between the same looking apples. And that's where I thought, okay, let's create something that sits on one sportsbook. It's non-transferable, that gives bonuses and rewards to the user themselves. And this is how we came up with SavageTech. This is our fake vendor page. So let's log in, and we have built this little guy, so you can drag and drop him anywhere you want. It works on mobile, it works on desktop, it's fully customizable, right? So if your sports betting platform mascot is a boat, or a rocket, this could be a rocket, and any icon that you see, any text you can see, we can customize, because at the end of the day, operators, they don't want to have the same gimmick on their platform. They want something that is brand agnostic, where their customers feel at home. So we accounted for that. So let's turn on the fake vendor view, so it becomes a little more familiar with that background, right? So you have all of these markets over here. Let's load up some money into the account. And the goal of this little guy is to actually fight against these monsters, right? So these monsters, you can see the loot that they potentially drop. You can see the attacks, what they are weak and what they are strong against. And you do that by actually placing bets, right? Or you go to the casino. That is not part of this demonstration. You spin the machine, and then you get attacks against those kind of monsters. So at the moment, the threshold is $10. So for every $10 that you place a bet, then you get one attack. So let's place a bet. When bet went through, and we dealt around 20 damage, which is not a lot, right? So that's why we have an entire inventory system where we can add additional stuff. We have a Savage shop, which can be renamed, that refreshes every 24 hours. So that draws the gamers back onto the platform, because all of these items of armory or even new gear, they are a little bit discounted, and everyone wants to get that good steal. So let's buy that wooden axe for now. And let's buy those trousers. We go back to our inventory. We can actually switch it. As you can see, the wooden axe has 10 more damage points, and we wear those trousers. And if we then go back to the monster and we do another $10 attack, it should be enough. No, it's not. Let's do one more. And as you see, we already spent $30 to defeat the first monster. We received 22 experience points in return and a mighty practice sword. So the goal of it is to traverse through all of these worlds. You have to beat 4 of these little monsters before you can fight the big boss. And of course, there's a loot chest system implemented. You can see the potential drops in there. You can click on open, and we got an old chain. And of course, this old chain can also be worn, and then we get stronger and stronger over time. We have a quest system, which is fully customizable. For example, this one here says attack 10 times any monster, which is a gamified language. But at the end of the day, it just means, at least if you set the threshold to $10 an attack, you have to attack for $100 in order to unlock this epic chest. and we have a social leaderboard that works all time, weekly and daily, where the operator themselves can give out can't buy prizes or bonus money if users are within the top 10. And one more important thing is we can also tap into the loyalty or CRM engine of that platform, and the operator can then just create a very simple rule set, as in, hey Tim, if you beat four monsters in a row, small monsters, then we are rewarding you with a $2 free voucher for the sportsbook or 10 spins for any casino machine. It's just that us gamers, and we're talking about the cohort of Generation Y and Z, 86% of them are gamers. They understand this kind of mechanic. It feels way more intuitive to achieve something on the game layer and then get rewarded, instead of getting a random email from the VIP team or from the CRM. Oh yeah, here's your $5 bonus voucher. It becomes more tangible to them. So there are multiple ways of dropping this. It could be in the loot box. It could be after after you beat a set of certain monsters. It could be when you level up your character. And should you ever encounter a wall where the monster becomes too strong, you can click on Prestige. That means your entire game progress is being reset to 0. You lose all of your items and your experience points, but you gain 1 prestige level, where you of course look different on the social leaderboards, where you permanently become stronger, and then you can start this entire process all over again.
So a really interesting product. Thanks very much for walking us through it as well. What kind of interest have you had so far from potentially operators in the industry?
So yeah, I just recently returned from IGB Amsterdam, which was just a blast. Before then, I was attending Sigma Manila, and before that, obviously, I went to London to attend the last London show of ICE. Industry feedback is just amazing. Really, really it is. And we are talking to industry veterans of 20, 25 years, and they all say the same thing when we're handing over the iPad and they start playing around, and it's very hard to get the iPad back. They have never seen something like this before, because it's not a superficial gamification where you're earning points and then you're getting some zombie badges. We actually put a game on top of a sportsbook and or a casino, and this really intrigues them. So currently, we are integrating with 3 brands, 2 from Europe, 1 from LATAM. We are in talks with other partners as well. And for a B2B SaaS company, getting product market fit, getting the first clients on board, this is always the hardest, right? So far the reception, the feedback has just been amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the feedback sounds promising. If we're to talk, I guess more the industry at scale, when it comes to personalization and gamification, two interesting topics in that they're buzzwords that are used a lot, and I say buzzwords, they're genuine topics of note, but they can become buzzwords. I guess my question here is how much is your platform a genuine solution to we need more personalization and we need more gamification without just saying it,
Yeah, good question. I mean, when a user signs up on a sportsbook and the operator selects him to be eligible to use our solution, they can basically outfit their character in any way and shape they want, right? So this is the first thing, that they get to personalize their own avatar, and avatar is equivalent to gamification, for at least for me. I think personalized betting super important, because if I only if the data shows that I've only placed bets on, I don't know, Counter-Strike or tennis, for example, this is the first thing that a sportsbook should be showing me, right, when I log in. And then gamification comes basically on top, where I get an extra thrill out of betting. I get extra entertainment. I get extra ways of making this entire already fun betting experience even more funner for myself, right? And with our solution, at least, it's not only fun to compete against other players from the same realm, from the same operator via our social leaderboards, but I can also earn bonus money via that. I can get free spins. And I think at the end of the day, I think we are really going into uncharted territory with our solution, to be honest, right? It's the world's first true gamified solution, and so far everything else was just superficial. We have obviously big plans when it comes to that in our product roadmap, but gamification, at least in my opinion, is the next thing that is going to catapult this industry forward.
You mentioned in your demonstration the high kind of figures when it comes to crossover between gamers and gamblers, or sports bets certainly. And you could describe this as maybe World of Warcraft in a way, fighting monsters meets sports betting. But I suppose why particularly that kind of esports game? Because I suppose if someone logs in wanting to place a bet on Manchester United, Man City, they might not necessarily have an affiliation with wanting to fight a monster or something like that.
Absolutely. I think you have to really look at those cohort individually, right? So if you're just looking at the cohort of 18 to, let's say, 29, 35-year-old punters, 86% of them, they are gamers, right? Before we start developing this RPG layer, this World of Warcraft layer, we ran surveys within that target group, and the RPG genre is just the common denominator. Everyone has played World of Warcraft, Diablo, Super Mario RPG at one point in their gaming career, and it's very easy to create it's very easy to create a genre that fits the majority of gamers, right? Don't forget, it's an iframe solution, so we can't really put a Counter-Strike equivalent on top of that, right? It has to be lightweight. So RPG for us was the next logical step, to be honest.
Really interesting. When it comes to, I guess, regulation and also potential responsible gambling, is there anything that an operator might have to do differently or consider when you apply kind of the SavageTech system, or does that all fall within kind of what they would normally do anyway?
Great question. And I think it's super important to make sure that, hey, this gambling, it's not for minors, it is for a mature audience, and everyone is making their own decisions in life. The operator themselves, they are choosing who they are showing this to. So at the point in time where a user actually registers and logs in, he or she already went through KYC and potentially AML if they have already deposited money, right? So at the end of the day, if the customer is eligible for the sportsbook themselves, then they are eligible for our game layer as well. And don't forget, it's just an informational layer, right? It could also be just a text box saying there's a 99% chance that it's going to rain tomorrow in Stoke-on-Trent, right? It's basically the same thing, just
Probably,
our layer it looks a little bit more colorful.
Yeah. When it comes to the future, let's say obviously you're going to have a roadmap ahead of you, but the next kind of year or two, what are you looking to achieve? Are you looking to try and grow the platform super quickly, or is it in stages? Is it certain markets? What are the kind of plans?
Yeah, in terms of markets, we are not region focused. Currently, we are talking with operators from all over the world. We have some pretty cool features on our product roadmap. I can't go too much into detail, but obviously we want to enable the operators themselves to be as individual and flexible with their offering via the SavageTech gamification layer as possible. So we are currently creating a lot of tools to make the onboarding for vendors easier. And then of course, when it later comes to, there's always going to be the question between who is this gamification layer addressing, right? And then you have two different cohorts. You have the average Joe that is placing a bet for 10 euro, and then you have the VIP customers who are placing a lot more, right? And eventually we want to create the tools that makes it very easy for the vendor to target both audiences. As of now, they are both mixed together.
A final question for me, final topic. You mentioned obviously the age-old dilemma, I guess, of acquisition and expensive acquisition in this industry versus retention and perhaps a lack of achievement when it comes to retaining players. Do you think in the next few years, with industry developments, platforms such as yours, but not just yours, do you think we can kind of redress the balance and up retention? Do you think it's a realistic target?
That is a very big question, to be honest. I think the market is consolidating itself right now. I mean, just look at the United States, right? How many operators are ceasing their operations because this unhealthy spiral has been going on for way too long. I think the prices will come down eventually because there are only so and so many operators left who can actually pay these high CPA prices, which then makes media sites suffer, because they can't charge those rates anymore. But at the end of the day, betting, getting an extra thrill out of watching Wimbledon, out of watching Counter-Strike, I think this will never go away. Right, it's a lot of fun, right? And with additional platforms such as ours, extending this fun, making it more sustainable, that is at the end of the day our goal. And so yeah, hopefully we can bring it down again, but it's just something that we all have to work for together, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tom, thanks very much for your time and for the demonstration as well. Best of luck with everything you're looking to achieve, because, as you say, it addresses potentially a few key areas within the industry.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. And to our viewers, thanks for watching.